Hey everyone, Orange here. Welcome back to another video. I had a ton of requests to go over this floor for TOA hard, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you guys all of the knowledge I have to help you guys beat this floor. So before I actually play through it, I'm going to use the team you see on screen, but before I play through it, I'm gonna go through some other options you guys have if you don't want to use the monsters that I'm using, or if you don't have them. So, the main thing that's giving people problems is not actually the final floor with the Grim Reapers, but it's the floor before it with 3 water liches and 2 wind liches. And the thing about the water liches is they can't be stunned, frozen, or put to sleep, so you can't do what you usually do in TOA hard, which is stun city, and it makes it kind of difficult to pass the floor, especially if you bring monsters like Beretta, who are absolutely amazing in TOA hard and in TOA, because they'll often kill your Beretta because there's 3 water ones, and they all have defense breaks, so they can even defense break Aria and stuff like that, and then kill those monsters. So the question is, what do we do? Well, we have some options here. Thankfully, we have some options. I'm just going to go through them. Taunting is amazing. I have 1 taunter, so we can CC them in that way, because they'll pretty much waste a turn if they get taunted. It's kind of like a stun-ish. So I have Mav as my taunter. Other options are Talc and Basalt. Those 2 work wonderfully. And then they also bring something else too. So my Mav is bringing Wings of Wind to help me use my skills more often, which is helpful overall, and he'll be taunting more because he can reduce that cooldown. So Mav brings kind of 2 things, and then Talc and Basalt also bring another thing that you may not think of. Well, maybe you do, but they have the defense buff. So the Liches are going to be moving no matter what, the water ones, pretty much, unless you do some crazy attack bar reduction thing, which the only 2 attack bar reducers I can think of, or 3, are Spectra, Hua, and Beretta, and they're all fire, so I don't think you'd want to really bring those against the Liches. What was I even talking about? They're going to be moving, so the defense buff is really helpful. Anything to reduce their damage. I have my Aria with glancing, which is going to make them glance more. And you guys know, if the enemy glances, they won't apply their debuff. So she's reducing the damage they're doing, because when they attack, they can possibly glance, do less damage, and also not debuff me. And then, if I was debuffed, they'd be doing more, blah, blah, blah. So I have that. Attack debuffs would work super good, too, if you have them. In my first clear, I used Briand. So you can use Briand. Rezzers also work very well. If you have any Rezzer you want to try out, like Eladriel, Briand's the best Rezzer for multiple aspects of the game. He'd work very well here. Even something like McKean you can even try out if you want. I'm going to show you guys this team though, and I'm going to show you that you only need a little bit of RNG to pass this floor. So I'm just giving you other options, kind of reaching and grasping for other solutions for you. What else? So any sort of debuffs and buffs for yourself would be great, because they're going to be attacking you. And what else? I'm trying to think before we move on if I have any other options. Stuff that would make their damage to you 0. So I could see Chloe working here. She would probably have to be pretty fast, which most Chloes are, so you should probably be fine if you use a Chloe. But you just have to make sure that you use her properly. I think Chloe would work really well. Just time your buff properly. On the second wave, you might have to let a couple of attacks go through as long as you maximize that buff. So I mean, it might be okay to let 1 water lich move and then buff afterwards or something. You're gonna have to kind of play around with it and try that out. So she'd be great, and then also a lot of Nat 5s work really well for TOA hard, but I don't have any that work well for TOA hard, so I'm kind of thinking Verad would probably be amazing, because he just resets their attack bar to 0. What else is there? I'm not really sure what the Wind Desert Queen does, but she might be good. I don't even know what she does. I think she might be a Despair Stunner though, so maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so I think those are all of my options for you guys. Double Taunters would be cool. I'm also going to link you guys a Reddit post. I think there's only 1 actually covering this floor for this month, so I'm going to link it down below. There were some people talking in it, giving each other suggestions and what they used to beat it. So some of them used monsters like Chasoon, some of them used Basalt, Talc, weird stuff like that. So you guys can check it out. Maybe they have a team that you have and you want to try that out. So let's get into it with my team. Okay, here we are on the first wave. I'm guessing most of you don't have problems on this, but I'm going to go over it anyways. So for the second wave and the first wave, Vero is going to be the one who's killing all of these water units for me. So it's really important that I have him on my team, and he helps a lot. You know, he brings his stuns, which is going to help on every single wave, because I'm going to be stunning, on the second wave, I'm going to be stunning the wind liches with my Vero. And I'm going to be spreading out my Bella's defense break whenever possible to get a tiny bit more damage on some of these monsters. Every little bit helps. But you also have to make sure that you don't over-debuff things. I talk about this a lot, because if you over-debuff them, I'm taunting the one on the far left because he doesn't have glancing on. If you over-debuff, you won't be able to land any more debuffs, which can be not good in some situations. Spreading out that defense break, keeping my slow up and glancing at all times. Sometimes I miss things, so I always like to use Arias like pretty much off cooldown, especially for this whole floor, all these floors, it's nice to use it off cooldown. Okay, I think that dude has 10 debuffs, so we're gonna watch it. I accidentally attacked the wrong target there with Bella, but that's okay. Sometimes I play a little bit sloppy. So I'm still focusing this one in the middle down with everyone, like with my Vero and stuff. And then I will work on whichever water one next is the lowest, because I like to really burst down these water ones on all of these floors, because it makes things easier and makes everything safer once you get rid of one. As we move into the second wave, I'm going to make sure I have all of my skills off cooldown, because it's really important that you get a good opening when you move from wave to wave on this floor. Some floors it doesn't matter too much, but this floor it definitely does. So I'm going to make sure I have absolutely everything. As these skull soldiers die, towards the end I really need to manage my cooldowns, so we're getting kind of close here. I'm just gonna work. I probably should. I'm playing really sloppy. I'm like attacking the fire one and stuff, so don't do that if you're struggling on this first floor. So I'm keeping in mind I just use my Aria's thingy, so that's a pretty long cooldown. I need to make sure she gets enough turns before I move on to the wave after this to have it up. So that's something you gotta watch for. So everything's low enough. I'm probably just going to start basic attacking everything right now. So we're just going to basic attack and everything should be up as we move into the second wave. Okay, here we are on the second wave. Before I started, I'm going to explain a couple things. So I already explained how the water liches can't be stunned, frozen, or put to sleep. So my stomp is going to be used on the wind liches. You'll see me really focusing on getting stuns on the wind liches. So that's what I'll be doing. Also, I will not be attacking the wind liches when I don't have to, because if we look at their third skill, their passive, you guys can look it up if you want, but basically if you hit them when they have their little shield up, which they do right now, I can slow myself, and then their second attacks all combo with that slow. So if I have a slow on me and they attack me with their second, the water ones will freeze me and the wind ones will stun me. I think I can resist it and stuff like that, but I don't really want to risk it, and I don't want slow on myself because I want to be moving, so I won't be hitting the wind ones when I don't have to. And then I'll be attacked by resetting a bunch of different things situationally. It's really, really important to get my dots up as soon as possible, because you need those dots ticking to kill them. So I will be using that first. It's really important to get a good opening, like I said. So since the wind liches aren't stunned right now, I'm going to stomp on them with my Vero. And then I'm probably going to work on the water lich in the middle first. I can just pick whichever one I want. I'm just going to pick one with the most dots and start focusing it down. And then let's see, all of the water liches got glancing on them, so it doesn't really matter which one I taunt, but the skills kind of matter, so we have to keep some stuff in mind. The water lich on the left used his second skill. The one in the middle didn't, so I'm going to be taunting the one in the middle or the one on the right. The one on the left is going to be on cooldown for like another turn or something. So I'm gonna actually, okay. I'm going to attack by reset the water one, I think. Yeah, it's good. I had a couple of moves I could have done there, and I just kind of picked one. Okay, so like I said, taunting the one in the middle or on the right. And I'm gonna keep dotting this one up in the middle as I continue to work on him. Gonna spread out my defense buff when possible. I'm gonna go for dots right here. The wind one might move, but I think it'll be okay. Okay, trying to get stuns on the wind, liches again. Gonna get my slow back up, really important. I'm gonna top myself off. I think it's fine to do that, so keep that in mind. I'm probably going to try to get my Wings of Wind going here soon. I got a nice Violent proc because I just healed and used a really big cooldown. I'm going to attack by reset the one on the right again. So the one on the left might have his second skill up by now. So I am going to need to CC him at this point. I'm thinking here, and it's kind of hard to think and talk at the same time, because this floor doesn't really require that much thinking, but like these are just things that you should probably pay attention to. I'm getting really nice taunts here. I'm like spreading out taunts to everything, so that's super cool. And I'm gonna save my stomp there because I don't really need to use it right at this point, so next turn I'll use it and stomp on the wind liches. Okay, let's see, what should I do? I think I will heal here. I think my Wings of Wind is up soon, so I'm going to heal and then use my Wings of Wind. Let's see, who should I attack by reset? I guess I'll attack by reset the Lich in the middle. Nope. Okay, one Lich is dead, which is really good. I'm going to save my stomp for next turn to CC both wind liches, and I'm going to work on the water lich on the left because he's already quite low, so he's going to be my next target. I might have to debuff him once more because it looks like he may not be actually dead. Okay, try to get some CC on these wind ones. The wind ones can still be pretty dangerous. They might land their defense break on my Beretta, which would not be good at all. So you gotta be careful. I'm gonna try to get a stun. Nice Wings of Wind. So it looks like we have this wave pretty much locked down at this point. Continuing to finish the last water lich off with my Vero. Dotting him up, like I said. Spreading out my defense break if I can to get a tiny bit more damage. Going for stuns and all that, stuns and sleeps on the wind liches because you can actually stun and sleep those. As I look to move on to the final wave, I need to make sure absolutely everything is up. It's so crucial to get a good opening on the final wave, so I want to make sure all of my cooldowns are off cooldown. All of my skills are off cooldown. Okay, we're almost done here. It still could be lost. You still have to be really careful, even when there's only a couple of enemies left. He could defense break me and chunk me out, and then I could get a bad opening on the final wave. So he did get his defense break off, but I was super lucky. I'm gonna actually seize here for a tiny bit more damage. I was lucky that he didn't chunk anything, so I should be very healthy moving into the final wave. Okay, I'm gonna save my Phoenix Fury because I need that up. Okay, I'm going to have like a kind of bad opening on the final wave because my Beretta's a little bit low. I'm gonna actually heal. I don't need my heal first turn, so we should be fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this shield off and then work on that. So yeah, I think we're good for the opening for the final wave. And I think my heal should be back up by now. Okay, so final wave. The most dangerous Grim Reaper are the dark ones, in my opinion, because on they have a third skill where they will stun you if you're dotted, and all Grim Reapers you see here on the screen have dots. So I'm going to go for those dark ones first because I don't want to be stunned because that could be like super bad. Once again, getting the dots going as soon as possible is important. Getting as many stuns as possible is important. So the Dark Grim Reaper on the right already has some dots on him, so I'm going to, you know, pile more on so I can really focus him down. Hopefully I get more stuns here. It looks like I will need my heal. I am going to taunt the dark one because I might get dotted by one of the fire ones or something. Let's see. I'm gonna save my Wings of Wind actually, because the fire ones are gonna move on me. I'm gonna heal, then use Wings of Wind. So, I'm gonna go for a stun here, probably on this fire one. Okay, so, like I said, everything's going according to plan. Attack bar reset, the dark one. Get some nice stomps. Okay, so now we're gonna use Wings of Wind and then get the heal off cooldown, so we're good. Keep working on this dark one first, and then mind your debuffs. Don't over debuff, so he's getting quite a few debuffs on him, so I'm gonna go ahead and start debuffing something else. This other dark one, actually, because I'm going to go for the dark ones first. And then just saving my stomp because I don't really need to stomp on anything right now. I always like to put my... I'm going to heal here just to top myself off and give myself attack bar. What was I saying? I was saying something... I don't remember. Something about saving my stomp. It doesn't make sense to stomp when they're all CC'd. I was going to say something else about Arya, but I forgot. Okay, is that dude stunned? I can't tell. He is. Okay. So... we're just going to work on that other dark one. We can probably go back to the first dark one that we were working on, because I think he lost some of his debuffs. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I always like to get my Arya's slow up, like every single turn that she has it. Mine is fully skilled, fully like max skilled. So I always like to have that up. Okay, I think everything is pretty much CC'd at this point, but I just have to play it out to make sure I don't make any mistakes, because I could end up wiping if I play a little bit not good here. So I'm just going to focus as I finish this floor out. And it looks like we have it. Just a couple more turns for these dots to tick, and we will be done. So for the second wave, you may need some RNG, you may need to do it a couple of times. I failed a couple of times with my current team, so just keep at it. You guys can do it. I wish you luck with good RNG, and that's the floor. So I hope all my tips helped you. I will have like a bunch of links down below to my runes and the Reddit post and stuff like that. So that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Hey everyone, it's me again. I get extra creepy when I don't have my webcam on, because I can be creepy like that, because you guys can't see me. Okay, so I have another clip that I'm going to show you guys. It's of me actually failing because I messed up, and it's not due to RNG. So some of your failures might be because you're messing up. I hate to break the news to you, but it could be the case. Remember when I talked about Bella defense breaking things for a tiny bit of extra damage? There may have been a point in the run where I could have done that. I'm not going to show you guys the whole thing because it's too long, but the Lich survives with like 1 HP and kills my Beretta. And also, I didn't hit him with my Vero. I could have hit him with my Vero and probably killed him and then maybe had a successful run. So here is the clip of me failing because I suck. And I'm going to work on probably the Lich in the middle because he's a little bit lower. Neither of them have dots on. And I need... Oh, really? I fucking died again? He moved? Oh, his first.